As I was editing this, as I was editing this, I realized I never did like an intro type of video to this. I just kind of started cutting stuff out. So this project took a turn and it took several months. I started it in December and then I just got kind of discouraged and gave up. And then I started from scratch and it turned into something completely different than what I originally thought. But started as just like a summer sort of dress, below the knee, sleeveless sort of thing. Struggled my way through the pattern because I didn't apply any of the skills that I learned in the last couple dresses I tried. It turned out pretty good in the end. Not perfect, of course, because I'm still learning, but happy with how it turned out. I'll probably still wear it, so come with me on this journey. It's a mess. Okay, so I have all my pieces cut out, and I learned from the disaster that was the Christmas skirt I was trying to make, which I deleted all my footage of because it was terrible, that when I'm cutting out something with this type of pattern, to cut it at one of the lines of the pattern so it matches up. So I'm hoping this works out a bit better. But I cut out all of the skirt in this sort of gingham or plaid or whatever you want to call it, and I had that much left over, so I didn't have enough to do the bodice, so I cut that out in white, and I did 2 layers of the white, and I'm going to sew them together and then flip it inside out so that the shoulders and neckline and everything are all clean, because when I did my first dress that was a struggle. So everything's cut out. I've marked on these because I'm going to be flipping it where the little triangle things are. And then I did all of my darts on one of these. So I'm going to sew these together tonight and flip it inside out for the bodice, and then I'll start figuring out or reading the rest of the pattern for the skirt and see how I can put it together. So hopefully it'll be cute. So I just finished the bodice, and I just have it on my form to make sure it's gonna fit correctly. I probably have to adjust the darts a little bit, but this is 2 layers of just the regular cotton. And then in the back, let's see if I can flip her around. It's gonna attach up here, and then it's just kind of open in the back, which is, I didn't realize that, but it's gonna be kind of cute. So that's it for tonight, and then I'll do the skirt portion tomorrow, which should be pretty easy. Well, I say that, and then I'm going to fail miserably, but just, I think it's 4 panels that have to come together. So should be able to knock that out tomorrow and then attach it and go from there. So I pinned 3 of the skirt panels together, and as I was pinning it, I realized because of how I cut it, the squares actually match up. So I'm going to pretend like that was 100% on purpose, but definitely wasn't. So I pinned it that way. Then I go over to my sewing machine to actually put this together. In that time, my seat has been stolen. I need you to move, ma'am. No, you live here now. It's okay. Last thing I need to do is add a button to the back or something to cinch the top. I'll probably just do a button, that seems easy. And then some sort of button, or maybe I'll just do a stitch or something. I'll just see at the top, and then it's done. But that means I need to try it on and take my teddy bear sweatshirt off, which I'm not looking forward to because it's very cozy. So try it on, see how it fits. I'm a little worried about how tight it might be in the middle, but I think it looks pretty good so far. So I tried her on, and it was sitting a little funny around like the hip area, I think because of how the pockets are laying. So I put it on Janet to see if I could figure out why it's looking a little bulky around the pocket area. So I think what I'm gonna do is take out the seams here in the back and just let them out a little bit to make it a little bit looser, and then I'm going to sew up the pocket to make it a little bit, I guess, smaller of a pocket hole here. And then I read the instructions again because it doesn't explain how to connect the back. I was guessing it's like a button or something up here and then it's just open and saucy, but I don't like that. So maybe I'll connect it down here and then leave a gap here and then have a button, maybe like 2 buttons or something. I don't know. And then I was trying to figure out how to connect here, and I was in the process of doing a button, but now I'm unpicking the buttonhole I put in there because then it was going to overlap and look a little funky. So I think I'm going to do a hook and eye closure, and that would probably be a bit cleaner just to nip it in here. And then I'm going to redo the hem because I didn't like how it was working. So I put her on Janet about 2 weeks ago and I haven't touched it since. My husband's creeping. And then my desk is sitting right over there and she's just been staring at me ever since, like, when are you gonna finish this? So I need to finish it. Took a bit of a turn. So what I learned when I did the yellow dress was that I don't like mixing 2 fabrics, but I did it again anyway. And also learned you need to do a mock-up for just learning how to use the pattern, but apparently I learned these things and I immediately forget them. So I got almost all the way done with this one, and then I couldn't figure out how to do the closures in the back. It didn't really make sense. I just didn't really like the way it was looking with the 2 fabrics. So I scrapped it and I took the muslin, just white fabric that I had, and redid it, I don't know if this will work, in just white. So it helped doing it once before and kind of figuring out where I was going to have some problems, and I think it came out a lot better. I'm not crazy about it being just white, so I did buy some fabric dye, so I'm going to try that, because if I ruin this one I'm not going to be that upset because it's definitely not perfect. But it gets easier every time you do it, so if I make it again it's going to be even better. I would definitely line the bottom skirt part because it's kind of sheared. The top had lining, and when I actually followed the pattern it made more sense than what I was trying to do before. It's like they know what they're doing. So if I make it again, I'm going to do a lining for the bottom and do the same thing for the top, but I'm going to take these darts in a little bit more. So the only issue with the lining is, well, I guess I was going to say the issue with the lining is that you can't really adjust it because you put the wrong sides together. But if I just tried it on throughout the process, I wouldn't have this problem. But it's a little baggy up top. But I'm going to try dyeing it, and that'll be a new fun adventure. We'll see how that goes. Have this pink or have blue, and I think I'm going to do the blue. So I need hot water. I got my bucket ready, dish detergent, and a cup of salt. So let's try this. Hello. Okay, so it's getting pretty dark, so I did it for about 20 minutes. And you can see it's already pretty dark. So I'm gonna rinse it out and then see what sort of color it is, and then I'll wash it. And I think it's gonna look a lot better than just being plain white. So let's see how this goes.
Hello.
Oh.
What are you doing?
You're in my video.
What are you doing?
Screeching.
Gloves.
Squeezed out as much of the dye as I can. There's still a tiny bit coming out when I squeeze, but I don't think I can get much more out. So now I'm going to rinse it one more time and then put it in the washing machine with a towel, it says, an old towel. Give it a good old wash and then see what happens. But I think it's kind of cool. Well, I'm saying it's cool so that I don't get mad. I used a white zipper because I used white fabric, and it's gone kind of like a light blue color. It might just wash out and stay white, and that's fine. And then the white thread I used is a little bit different color blue than the rest of the dress. It's kind of like a light baby blue, where the dress is like this really deep blue. And now I'm so curious what the pink would have looked like, because this is much darker than what I thought. But I think it's darker because I used such a small bucket. It's the only one I had, and probably just a little bit too much dye. But I mean, I was going off the directions, but I think maybe if there was another item in there with it, or more water to dye ratio or something, it would have been a little bit lighter. But I kind of like the color, and because it's cotton, it's going to be breathable and nice in the summer. So we'll see how this turns out. One more rinse. All right, so I put it in the washing machine, clean up all this stuff, then dry it, iron it, try it on again. And we'll see how it turns out, but I think this will be better. I hope, we'll see. Otherwise I'm making it again. Washing machine's done, so I'll have to check it, and I'm very nervous. We shall see. Oh, it's much lighter than I thought. It's pretty. I'm gonna wash it one more time. Just a speed wash. Just to make sure all the dye is out. Then I'll dry it, iron it, and go from there. Moment of truth. Much better. So like a pretty sort of pastel blue. So iron it up, try it back on, and see. All the, actually that's funny, all the thread didn't hold the color, so that's still white, and the zipper is kind of like a pale blue. I don't like that thread. Alright, when I try it on, I'll figure out what I need to do to clean that up. It looks good. So I really like the color. It did get, I don't know if you can see it with this weird light, but a weird sort of veiny effect on the top. I kind of like it. It was not intentional, but it gives a little something. I don't know, I'm trying to be positive. But this is the finished dress, and then the back is, so this part's open. There's a clasp here and a clasp there, and then there's a little peekaboo bit in the back here that is dyed. You can see the thread. You didn't see that before because it was white on white, but now it's kind of popping out, and of course the zipper is bright white in the back. Not bad for the first time dyeing fabric. What do you think, my lady? Nope. Okay.